and the link. So good. So hello and welcome. Can you tell us who you are, what you do, and what is the value that you provide for others?
Thank you so much, Christina, for having me here. My name is Jessica Lockhart, and I am a humanologist. Humanology is a new discipline. It's a discipline that focuses on studying and explaining human beings, and as such, helps human beings first know and understand themselves. How can you work on yourself if you don't know who you are or what it is that you need to do and how to do it? Therefore, humanology is like this framework or this textbook for human beings. I am the creator of humanology. I am also the creator of optimism coaching, which is one method included in humanology. I am the discoverer of personal essence, which is a method that helps human beings discover their deepest innermost nature. And I also created tools like absolute forgiveness, for example. So I am an expert in human beings, you would say. And I think my added value is that I provide the framework to understand ourselves, and the most important thing, to be able to take the reins to ourselves, to take control of our own lives. Because nobody can tell us what is good or bad for us, what is best for us but ourselves. So I give everybody the tools to do that themselves.
How did it come that you have created this? From where did it come? I think you started like doing something, afterward you loved it, and afterward you gained experience, afterward you created it.
It started with optimism coaching. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it started with optimism coaching. I started working on optimism coaching when I lost my own optimism. Before I was a humanologist, I was a simultaneous interpreter. You know, those that speak at the same time? So I loved my job, and I used to travel around the world translating and interpreting and meeting very interesting people every day. I was with Nobel laureates and with actors and directors, with scientists. It was a very exciting life. But I had 2 car accidents, and the second one was very serious. So I couldn't walk anymore. I was told that I'd be in a wheelchair by 40, and that I would have constant acute pain every day in my life because, well, my case was very complicated. So because of that and the constant pain day after day for years, and a few other family problems that we had at the time, I lost my optimism. And I lost it for quite a while until an old friend told me, Jessica, where did your optimism go? I said, wait, Drew, where's my optimism? Because as you can see, I am very energetic and quite optimistic. So it was like, I was like that. And then I said, no way, I don't want to be like this. I want to be myself. And then I started studying optimism and reading about it and researching and trying this and that and da 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 da, until I ended up creating a method to recover my own optimism. Then I shared it with others, worked. Then I wrote my first book. Then people started asking me for more. And they said, okay, we want to know more. We want more tools. And I said, I don't know, more. And then I decided to train myself. I became a life coach, an expert in empathy. I studied the science of happiness in Berkeley. I studied everything I could. And little by little, I put all the pieces together until I created humanology. And this is the result of all those many years of study and work and research.
Yeah, it's always up to yourself to
Yes.
decide if you want to create new things and build something also for yourself and what helps also others.
Yes.
And back to the overwhelm. So, what are the signs and effects afterwards of an overwhelmed person? So, how do you know when you are overwhelmed, and what kind of effect does to the body or to the mind or generally, so inside and outside?
Mm-hmm. Yes, as I wrote on that article that was published in your blog too, overwhelm
Mm-hmm.
can come from many different places and due to many different reasons. But the most prevalent ones, or the most common ones, are an excess of activity. That is when you have too many things to do. As simple as that. Sometimes we pile things upon one upon the other. We have to do this and that, that. For example, people say, well, I have to study, but at the same time I have to work, and at the same time I have to exercise, and at the same time I have to eat healthy, and at the same time I have to take care of my children. And gosh, there comes a
Yeah.
moment in which we just don't have enough hours in the day, and that causes a lot of stress. And that stress can easily result in feelings of being overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed is a feeling that is very much related to not being able to take care of everything in our lives. So the first reason is when we have too many things to do. The second reason comes from too much thinking, from overthinking or ruminating. There are certain people, and I certainly have many clients who come to me because of this, who say, I just cannot stop thinking. I cannot meditate. I cannot practice mindfulness because my brain does not switch off, not even when I'm sleeping. And that can create severe problems because people then tend to not rest enough. And not resting enough gets them nervous. And that nervousness makes them think again. So it's a never ending cycle. When you're an overthinker, when you think too much, it's usually the result of a habit or of a belief. You start overthinking, usually in childhood, when you start daydreaming. Many people start overthinking when they daydream a lot. They go like, la, 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 la. But as we grow up and we start worrying about life and about things, that daydreaming always turns into the negative. What if this happens and that happens and then oh my god and then and then we start not daydreaming, but it's like a constant nightmare, and that becomes a habit. When we're worried, when we worry about things, when we think about what if this happens or that happens or that happens, we're actually feeling fear. What if is always a question of fear. What if this happens? If we only ask it, and it's at the level of worry, the level of fear is very small. But if it grows, it increases or multiplies, then the level of fear is much greater. So the what if question, beware, usually entails certain fear. When we have fear, it's exactly the same as when we have stress. When we have fear, we get ready to fight the problem we had ahead of us. By getting ready, like in stress, we're in this fight or flee mode. Our brain gets ready to face up to whatever it's coming. By doing that, the brain releases certain chemical products that make us tense and ready to fight. When people overthink and people over worry, they're in this constant tense state. By being constantly tense, they're constantly releasing those chemicals. And that is one of the main problems when trying to relax. You have so much adrenaline, so much cortisol in your body that you just can't relax. And that is why people feel so overwhelmed. An excess of thinking, overthinking. The same thing happens when you have an excess of feeling. Feelings in humanology are the result of thoughts. You cannot feel something unless you had a previous thought. It could be conscious or subconscious, but their thought is always there. Like, what if? You have to think, what if this happens before you feel scared? So sometimes people also get in the habit of feeling and feeling and feeling. You know, these drama people, for example, that's an example. They're constantly, and they're so worried feeling that they just get carried away by their feelings and they have no time for anything else. There comes the overwhelm again. And finally, another very, very common reason for feeling overwhelmed is constantly living in the past or in the future. When people are constantly thinking about something that happened and that still bothers them because, oh my God, this happened to me. Oh, and this, I could have done this, I could have done that. They feel pain, they feel sadness, they feel guilt. and they spend a lot of hours in the past, they're not actually in the here, in the now, in the present. Therefore, everything that is happening now, they're not really paying attention to. And all that time that they should be devoting to doing something now, they're just thinking about the past. Therefore, things pile in the present. They end up feeling overwhelmed because they're just not here. And the same thing happens when you're too much in the future. Oh, what if this and that? Again, worrying in the future, because we worry about the future all the time. What this and that, you're not here. So anytime you get used to being in the past or in the future, you're not here, things tend to overwhelm you. Is that a good enough answer for you, Christina?
Very, very good. I think it's also when you talked about daydreaming, so it's like you have all these expectations from life, and then you are growing up and life crushes you, and then crushes your expectations, and then everything becomes negative, transform it into negative, and then you don't know how to react, and that's why it comes this negative, because you have no idea what to do next, because it's not like you can expect anything anymore. It's like you need to train yourself from again and again, like you are a child, and train yourself to grow in a better human being. I don't know, to have other expectations and other kind of expectations from life.
Yeah, but I would say, Christina, that expectations are in the future. And when they're crushed in the past, and you're here today, now. The only question you can ask yourself is, what can I do now? Now, here, now, what can I do? Yeah. Whatever happened, happened. Whatever will happen, will happen. So having expectations is worrying about the future. And thinking about what didn't work is worrying about the past. So remember, if you don't want to feel overwhelmed, always ask yourself this one question: what can I do now?
Do you think that do people feel overwhelmed because they don't want to ask for help, or that they feel that they need to do everything alone, or feel everything alone, go through everything alone?
Okay. One of the things I also spoke briefly about on the article is beliefs. When we talk about beliefs in humanology, we don't mean religious thoughts. No. Beliefs in humanology are any type of idea, conviction, or opinion that a human being has. And we have beliefs
in his reality.
Yes.
In his reality,
here,
has.
In their brain, yes.
Everybody has his own reality, and then...
But then they see reality based on their beliefs. Exactly. And those beliefs have to do with everything in life. Let me give you an example, okay? I'm here in this hotel room because I happen to be in Madrid today, and I had the choice to have a wide variety of things for breakfast. So when I chose my breakfast today, I didn't choose the same breakfast as that man over there. He chose something else. Why? Because his belief system is different from mine. I chose what I thought would be good for me. And that is based on my own beliefs of health, appetite, nutrition, everything. So when we have certain beliefs, those beliefs will guide us into behaving a certain way, into reacting a certain way, into facing life a certain way. When we face life a certain way and it doesn't work the way we want it, our beliefs will tell us whether we're going to ask for help or not. If I have the belief asking for help is a display of weakness, and weakness is bad, I will never ask for help. If I have the belief what really matters is reaching the goal, no matter what, then I might ask for help. If my belief is I have to prove everyone that I can do everything on my own, then I will not ask for help. Asking or not asking for help will clearly depend on what beliefs you have. So when people have beliefs that limit their capacity to ask for help, that's neither good nor bad. That's neither positive nor negative. Why? Look at it this way. When you don't ask for help, You're forcing yourself to being more resourceful. You're forcing yourself to learning more things. You're forcing yourself to growing up. But when you ask for help, you learn a lot from others. You have more resources available from others. So which one's best? They're just different. They're different ways of tackling reality. And each person will choose the way they want to use based on their own beliefs. Having said that, it's true that sometimes people discover that their beliefs are limiting them. Okay? And we can clearly see this in many examples in life, but a very simple one is athleticism, athletes. When athletes believe they cannot run faster, they will never run faster. They limit themselves. When they believe, I can do this, then they will start running faster. The same thing applies here. If you believe I cannot ask for help because helping me is bad, you will limit yourself to never asking for help. And if someone gives you help, you might turn that help into something negative because you believe that's bad for you. Yes?
Yeah, definitely. So you are talking also about the self-talk diary. Whoa, how does that work?
Sorry,
The self-talk diary.
Yes, self-talk, yes.
Uh-huh.
Any type of talk, be it self-talk or talking to others, reflects our beliefs. I can't do this. That's my belief that I'm not capable of doing this. You know what? You should dress in red. That suits you. That's your belief that red looks good on that person. Everything we say to others and to ourselves represents our beliefs. So when we have negative beliefs about ourselves, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to be loved. These are some of the most typical ones. People don't like me. I don't deserve support. Life owes me. I'm not strong enough. All those things we constantly repeat out to ourselves whenever we have that belief. So when I work with clients, many of the clients who come to me have problems in their reality because their self-talk and their beliefs are limiting them. So one of the most important parts of my job is to help people realize what their beliefs are and how they're affecting them. I give them then the tools to decide, do you want to keep the belief because it might give you a certain advantage? Do you want to change the belief? If they choose to change the belief, then I teach them how to do it. So they can make that limiting belief disappear. And then they can start growing again.
Yeah, yeah. It's always their choice because you cannot teach somebody something if they don't want to be taught.
Totally. And I can never say what is right or what is wrong. A very simple example I use is I try to help people understand that there's no other human being in the planet who knows them better than themselves. And there's no other human being in the planet who can see reality exactly the same way they see it. Let me give you an example, Christina. What would you say this is? What's this?
It's a pink journal or an agenda.
Okay, what else?
Mouse pad.
Okay, do you see the drawings it has?
No, unfortunately, I do not see it. I just see the pink.
But they're so obvious. How can you not see them?
I do not see them.
Christina, they're there for everyone to see. Okay, let's cut this story short. See, when I play with my clients and I teach them this, I say, see, you're describing an object in a way that I don't describe it. And then we can even start fighting about it because your reality is true. This is a pink case or a pink box or a pink something, but my reality is also true. It has drawings. This is one
Mm.
reality, only one reality. But depending on the
Yeah.
perspective that we both
Yeah.
have, we are both right, both at the
Yeah.
same time. And this is something that I try to teach my clients very early on. Whatever
Mm.
you see, whatever you perceive in reality, whatever your belief is right for you, but maybe not right for everybody else. And I can never presume to know what you know.
Mhm.
So my
Mhm.
job as a
And just
humanologist is to help you see more and more and more and more, so you have a greater choice.
mhm. So that's connected through to awareness, because if you have
Also,
awareness, then you know how people why people reacted in that kind of way, and then you can choose to not be mad, or you can choose how to behave that is for you the best way to behave without
yeah,
being coming out this monkey, or I don't know, primal, or the survivor brain,
yeah,
which always attacks people and makes them aggressive if something, or defensive if something's happening what they do not expect to happen, or something like
yeah.
that.
Or they can't see anything else. See, you couldn't see what I
Yeah.
could see, and we could even
Yeah.
kill each other. I am right.
So,
I have proof. I see
so
it. I can prove it. And you too.
mm,
You can see it. You
yeah.
can prove it. You have. Blah, blah, blah. So, really? You
Yeah,
see,
and
everything
I
I
think also,
yeah,
sorry,
go ahead.
say.
No, I was gonna
No,
say that
I think,
everything I see is very logical.
yeah. Yeah, and I think that this is a main an entrepreneurial skill which you should develop for yourself, because as an entrepreneur you should be able to think otherwise as a normal human being.
Yeah, because the
So it
more,
should be taken in
yeah,
consideration to teach yourself this skill.
yeah, the more you know, the more, as I always say, the more you see, expanding or widening your worldview, the easier it will be for you to relate with other human beings. The easier it will be for
Mm,
you to understand other perspectives. The easier it will be for you
mm.
to find new solutions and new proposals.
Or to easier go faster through something that it didn't happen like you wish it happened, or something
Of
like
course.
people, yeah, people always scam you, or give you bad comments, or I don't know, do not support you in what you are doing, and then you have this tool. With this tool you can shine, even though people
Yeah,
are
and
so mean or
you
bad.
can accept,
Mm,
you can accept that they don't see it the way you do, and that is okay. And you don't
mm,
fight them, and you don't suffer from that, and you just keep on going your own way.
mm. Yeah. So in your blog, you talked also about Kaizen technique. What's that? Can you talk about more details? Have you
Kaizen,
um,
yes,
Kaizen? Yeah.
Kaizen is a Japanese word. It's a Japanese technique that was invented for manufacturing and companies, and I just liked the concept. And then I started using it for human beings. I said, okay, you know what? Why don't we apply this Kaizen technique to ourselves?
Mm,
In factory, Kaizen technique says, okay, if you have this huge goal, you have to manufacture 1 million cars by such and such date, and blah, 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 blah. That is like,
mm,
whoa, overwhelming. Instead of thinking about, I don't know, manufacturing 1 million cars in a week, why don't you divide it into the 5 working days in the week? And then you have
mm,
250,000 cars a day. And then, divide the big goal into smaller steps. An example I
mm,
always like to use is when people have to lose weight. Now, imagine I have this lady or
yeah.
this man, they come to me and they say, oh, I have to lose 30 kilos. The doctor told me I have to lose 30 kilos. Oh my God, how can I lose 30 kilos? I said, okay, relax. What's the deadline?
Mm,
What is your timeline? I have to lose 30 kilos in 6 months. Okay, I can't do that. That's too much. Wait, how much is that per month? Okay, up 5 kilos a month. I can't lose 5 kilos a month. Well, I'm just inventing the figures. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Well, then, if there's 5 weeks in the month, that would mean a kilo a month. Oh, a kilo a month is something I might be able to do. You see? Reduce all the big goals, big objectives into smaller goals and then into smaller steps. And focus on taking this one step here today, like we said before, here and now, this one step. Take it. And when you take it, when this week is over and you lost 1 kilo, celebrate it. Oh, I'm so great. I did it. Why? Because your brain is learning that you succeeded. The brain is telling you, you can do this. I'm telling you that it will encourage you for next week to lose 1 more kilo. That is the Kaizen technique. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you have this huge thing ahead of you. Reduce it into smaller goals and simple steps. Yes?
Yeah, definitely. So, yes, I just wanted to add here because marketers do such a thing like with landing pages. They are over exaggerating your benefits and your results, and actually maybe you don't get those results, but you get a half of it or a small chunk of it, and only that you got this small chunk, it feels like, oh, you got this big what it was promised to you. But even though you didn't got it, you had that feeling that you got it because you got a small part of it, you know. I think it's not good maybe or ethical, but it works.
Well, it works for certain people. It works for those who celebrate whatever they get. Other people might feel frustrated with that, though. Other people might react just the opposite way. You know, some people, they're offered this, then they get this, and it's never enough. Yeah, but you know, I had that yesterday. Now what? I always say this example. I always say that there are certain people whose lives are like drama movies. You know, everything is a drama. Everything is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, why did this happen to me? Oh my God, they will never, blah, 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 blah. I always say to those people, winning the lottery would be a disaster. Yeah. Why did I have to win the lottery? Now I will have to pay taxes. People will ask me for money. Oh my God. I mean, come on. It really depends on how you want to take things. And it depends on your beliefs. Do you believe everything is going to be bad? Then everything will be bad. So what do you want to think about things? How do you want to take things in life?
And also to take the bad in a good way, even though it is bad.
Yes. Because everything bad is also
about
good.
It.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you give us one of your best advices on how to stay productive on your entrepreneurial journey?
Okay. How to stay productive? One of the things you can do is ask yourself what your life purpose is. Not your professional one, but your life one. Some people have a certain purpose in life. Some people want to be happy. Some people want to be at peace. Some people want to be generous. Some people, there is like this one thing that is fundamental to them. One or two things. If you're capable, if you can, use your life purpose to guide you in every professional step you take, you will be successful. Why? Because you will feel good about it. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine that there's this person who's creating a company or who's developing a company whose main goal in life is to be peace. The example I mentioned before. And they are in constant fights with providers, suppliers, clients, employees. If they shift their mentality and they say, okay, I'm going to use my life purpose, I want to be at peace. At work, every time they enter into a conflict situation or a fight or an argument, and they say, no, I want to be at peace. That will force them to finding a way to solve that problem while keeping at peace. If they say, no, I don't want to argue, I want to be at peace, they will find a way to be at peace at work. And if they are at peace at work, they will feel good about themselves, and that will propel them faster. See it?
Is that connected with the values and your ethics? Because some people do not know them, what are those for themselves, even though everybody has, but not everybody thinks about it, like the life purpose. Not everybody thinks about it, but
Exactly.
everybody has it, So it is connected, purpose, value, and ethic, or do you think it's something different between these
No,
three?
it's all connected. Everything in the human being is connected. The number one thing in any entrepreneur, in any company owner, in any CEO, in any manager is that he or she is a human being, and so are everybody else in the company. I work with companies all around the world, and the number one thing I teach is a company is made up of human beings. All companies are. And if the human component doesn't work, there's no company. If you want your company, be it a small company or a big company, be it a multinational or be it a startup, if you want your company to really flow and grow, you need to understand the human component. And you have to really use the human component. And that is something that people neglect to do. Values, skills, strengths, weaknesses, life purpose, beliefs, worldviews, all those things are fundamental, and people neglect them. And they never consider them. They only have these human resource departments that do nothing related to human beings. Come on, guys. How are you going to make a company work if you don't know your employees and if you don't know yourselves? This
because this worked in the past.
Sorry?
This type of I don't know, system worked in the past, what you have said, and some companies did remain with those techniques because it worked, and they do not want to innovate maybe and stick into what.
How far do you think those companies would have gotten if they'd known about human beings before? Maybe instead of being here, they would have been there.
Yeah,
it's
totally
time to go back to basics. It's time to go back to the human being.
Yeah, totally. You are totally right. It is.
That's what I teach. That's exactly what I teach. And I teach it for companies, but I also teach it in every aspect of life. We have to start understanding human beings. Come on. This is the 21st century. Look at universities. Universities teach us disciplines that focus on small pieces of the human being, on small fragments. Psychology, the mind. Sociology, societies. Anthropology, cultures. Why on earth don't we already have a discipline that studies human beings? Well, now we have it with humanology, but how can we be in the 21st century and still not have a discipline that understands us? We are at the center of everything we do. And understanding human beings should be the number one step in every field. In education, in engineering, in architecture, in medicine, in everything.
Yeah. And you should always take into the consideration to know in each thing the basic things. So like when you're ill and you do not know what you have, you don't just go first to the doctor. Just first you learn about your body. It's because you were outside in the cold, or why did it happen to you? And first you understand yourself before you go to the doctor, because if you go without knowing your basics, then your doctor says take that, and you are just taking it based upon his supposition what you should take. But you only know yourself what you have done and what your body can do or something. And if you know the basic, then you can like connect, okay, does it make sense what he's saying or not? Should I take that medicines, or should I go in a healthier way just without medicine?
Yeah,
And
the
like,
proof of
or
what
for
you're
instance,
saying.
yeah.
No, the proof of what you're saying is that the doctor has to ask you questions. The doctor needs to talk to you because you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like also to go to repair your car in like where the cars are repaired. If you go there, a lot of people say, well, you need to fix that and that, because then in addition they get also more money. I am just coming back to the business mindset because it's an entrepreneurial way to teach something who should think in an entrepreneurial way, and this kind of stuff, it's very good to implement in the business. So when you know the basics from your car, you know that just that it's happening with the brake. It's not just you need another tire to do that in order to fix the brake. So if you know the basics already, you shouldn't be I don't know, listening to others like you need to do that and that and that. You already know the basics, what's happening with your car. But if you do not know everything about that, yeah, it's just like
if you work on yourself, you know yourself better than anybody else.
Yeah. So, as the last request and question, tell us about your services, prices, and if you have a special offer for the moment.
Okay. Well, because I am the mother of humanology and the creator of this whole new discipline, I am probably the least specialized humanologist in the world because I disseminate humanology, I teach humanology, I offer humanology training courses, optimism coaching training courses. I speak all around the world. As you see today, I am in Madrid. I live in Switzerland. I was in Mexico last month. I teach and disseminate humanology and optimism coaching all around the world. I work one-on-one with clients. I work for companies. Other humanologists are more specialized in different fields of humanology. Humanology for couples, humanology for companies, humanology for children at schools. So in my specific case, I am like the generalists, the general medicine doctor. I am the generalist humanologist. My own work is helping human beings wherever they need me because I am the creator. But if you need an expert humanologist for a certain aspect, I can recommend those who are expert in different fields. Okay? The prices vary a lot because it depends on what you need. If you need humanology for a company, like for example, we're starting now with a company of over 50 people and they want to do like a complete redo of the company, it's not the same as if you just need some humanology sessions because you're afraid of flying. So depends on what you need. People can hire a peak.
Yeah.
And to make presentations, to motivate others, to disseminate any of the tools that I have created and that are part of the Humanology project. So I am quite unique in that sense. I am not just a humanologist, but because I am the creator, I am very busy disseminating and teaching people what it is.
So are you offering prices also low price or just like middle and high levels, so that people have a kind of idea?
For example, let me give you an example. Because I have this whole Institute of International Humanology, I train humanists, and they often work with me while being trained with other clients. And we even do pro bono sessions for clients whenever they need them, so the humanologists can be trained, They can have the practice they need before they become professionals. And the clients who can't afford a professional humanologist can still have their sessions when working with them. So there's a wide range of services and a wide range of possibilities. We want everybody to learn and grow. We want humanology to be out there in the world and help human beings. So if anybody listening to us today or a little later, they want to know more, they want to hire a humanologist, they want to discover new tools, they contact me, ask me. I will get you in contact with whomever can help you. We already have the whole system in place. We already have humanologists all around the world who speak different languages, who can help you in different fields. So always send us your inquiries, send us your questions. I'm sure we can give you a solution.
Okay, wow, thank you. That's very interesting, and it's a very interesting field, and I think this is a future field which will work better also in the future. This is an evergreen solution for all the problems that people have in their lives and businesses, and this is like huge deal. Maybe not now, for instance, because you need to educate people, that helps, that they know that exists and so on, but this is definitely a future business which will flourish.
Yes.
like
No, and it already
like
is
that.
flourishing in many countries. As I said,
Mm-hmm.
a few minutes ago, I was in Mexico last month. I am in Barcelona
Mm-hmm.
now. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
Switzerland tomorrow or in 2 weeks from now. I was in Kuala Lumpur. I was in India. I mean, this is growing fast, and we're working with clients all around the world already. So it's not the future, it's already here. And we're already teaching
Mm.
and training people all around the world. For instance, the optimism coaching training course that helps you become an optimism coach with just that one course was accredited in the United Kingdom as the equivalent to a university diploma. And the
Mm.
humanology training course is accredited by the same body, the ACCPH in the UK, as equivalent to a master's degree. So this is very solid and
Oh,
already established. Yeah.
wow. I
And it
did
can be,
not knew that.
yeah, no. This is very serious business. And this can be done online, and this can be sometimes done in person, because we organize courses and lessons and seminars and teachings all around the world. We just had
Mm.
one of the optimism coaching training courses in Switzerland, and we will soon have one in Spain. I've been asked to have some in South America soon too. So this is growing.
So with so many cultures that you are speaking to them, sorry, I need to ask this one as the last question. If you are talking to so many cultures, do they have the same response? Do they have the same reaction when they hear about humanology? What do you think? Because everybody has other cultures, other religions, other beliefs, and then you go into a stranger world or country and you talk about these beliefs. How do they react? Do they react the same way in every country and every part of the world?
One of the bases for humanology is that human beings, okay, let me rephrase that. Humanology stems from or is born from a basic model of the human being. Okay? This model of the human being has 4 elements: personal essence, beliefs, worldview, and personal sphere. We've used this model of the human being everywhere in the world with thousands upon thousands of people, and we haven't found one single exception. This model works for
Hmm.
the whole humanity, and it explains every
Okay.
human being. The idea behind humanology is not teaching you how to do things, but giving you the tools so that with what you already know, with what you already believe, you can grow from there. So we don't question anybody's beliefs. We don't judge
Mm-hmm.
anybody's beliefs. This is not a new religion or a new set of rules that you have to apply or learn. No, this starts from the bottom up. It takes what you already
Mm.
know and it makes it expand so you can continue learning much more. The more you learn, the better you understand things. The better you understand things, the better you can learn, the better you can grow. See?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it helps you understand where your beliefs come from and how to use them.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice.
Yes,
It's like a map in your head, a
totally,
small guidance, a GPS.
totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's, I always say, the textbook for human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. That was awesome. Thank you. This video, I think, in the future will be very well taken. And thank you so much for the article and for the input which you have given me and us. And I hope that we will collaborate and talk more topics, interesting subjects in the future too,
Thank
because
you,
people need
Christine.
to.
Thank you so much. Thank you for uh, taking an interest. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for opening yourself to learning and disseminating. Thank you for trying to help human beings be happier and for trying to help humanity have a better place in the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, really, honestly.
Thank you too. So stay productive, everybody. Until next time, and we see each other again. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.